Let's take a look at solving linear equations involving fractions. So the first four equations involve common denominator. The first one is x minus 4 over 2 equals to 2 over 7. So first we are going to add 4 over 2 on both sides. So we have x equals to 2 over 7 plus 4 over 2. So since the denominators are not the same, you have to get a common denominator. So common denominator. The easiest way to get the common denominator is to multiply the two denominators. 7 times 2 is equals to 14. So what is 14? So 14 means I have to make this becomes a 14. I have to make the second denominator becomes a 14. So from 2 over 7 to something over 14, that means you have to multiply the top and bottom by 2. So 7 times 2 is 14. So 2 times 2 is equals to 4. So here you have 2 over 7, right? As long as you multiply the top and bottom by the same quantity, that doesn't change the outlook of the fraction, but that doesn't change the value of the fraction. So that becomes 4 over 14. Again, you have to multiply the top and bottom by the same value. All right. And then the 2 to 14, you multiply by 7. So that means the 4 over 2, you multiply the top and bottom by 7. So this becomes a 28. And then 4 plus 28, so that is a 32 divided by 14. To me, this fraction is fine, but not sometimes. But you are responsible for reducing the fraction. So this one, they are both even, right? So you can have the 32 divided by 2, which is equals to 16. And then 14 divided by 2 is equals to 7. So this one, you just reduce the fraction. And then in this problem, I prefer not to approximate the fraction. If you want to approximate, just take 16 divided by 7. But the purpose is I want to practice common denominator. Let's take a look at B. So in B, we have 7 over 4 plus x equals to negative 4 over 5. So we have x equals to, you add this on both sides, right? Not add this, sorry. You subtract this on both sides, or you move that over to the other side and change the plus to a minus. So x is equals to negative 4 over 5 minus 7 over 4. So what is the common denominator? Common denominator, let's use a CD for short, right? Common denominator. So that is a 5 times 4 equals to 20. So x is equals to negative, this needs to be a 20, so this needs to be a 20. From 5 to a 20, you need to multiply the top and bottom by 4. So 5 times 4 is 20, 4 times 4 is 16. And then 4 to a 20, you have to multiply by 5, right? So the 7 over 4, you have to multiply the top and bottom by 5. So that is a 35. So we have a negative 16, right? Minus 35. So what is that equal to? Negative 16 minus 35, that equals to negative 51. So negative 51 divided by 20. So that is your final answer. And then C, let's switch to another color for C. So C, you have, oh, by the way, I'm going to scroll down so you won't see this anymore. If you want to get all the problems down, you have to take a screenshot right now so you can work all the problems out. All right, take a screenshot right now. Okay, let's keep working. X plus 5 over 3 equals to negative 17 over 6. All right, I have to get the 5 over 3 to the other side. So this was a plus. Move that to the other side, that becomes a minus. Negative 17 over 6 minus 5 over 3. Okay, the common denominator, most people will just take 6 times 3, right? But this one you don't need to, and that's why I designed this problem. The common denominator, I will just use a 6. Yes, you can use 6 times 3 equals to 18, but I don't need to make the number that big. So watch. The first one, 17 over 6, I am not going to change that, but how do you go from a 3 to a 6? So from a 3 over 5, if you want a 6 in the denominator, you have to multiply the bottom by 2. That means you have to multiply the top by 2 as well, because 5 over 3 times 2 over 2, which is times 1, any number times 1 equals to itself. So this 2 over 2, people call that a magic 1. So as long as you multiply the top and bottom by the same quantity, the value will not change. All right, so 5 times 2 is equals to 10. So 10 over 6, if you divide the top and bottom by 2, you get the 5 over 3 as well. So x is equals to, they have the same denominator, negative 16 minus 10, you get a negative 27 over 6. So that is your final answer. This fraction can be reduced if you divide the top and bottom by 3. 6 divided by 3 is 2. 27 divided by 3 is equals to 9. So this is the fraction in a reduced form. D, we have 7 over 2 equals to x plus 4 over 9. So this one, let's keep the x on the right hand side. I will subtract 4 over 9 on both sides. So that is a 7 divided by 2 minus 4 over 9, that equals to x. All right, 2 and 9, let's use 18. So common denominator is 2 times 9 equals to 18. So this is a 18, this must be a 18. We need to modify the top from 2 to 18. So 7 over 2, right? You need to get to the 18, you must multiply the top and bottom by 9. So 7 times 9 is 63. And then 4 over 9, 2 and 18, you must multiply top and bottom by 2. 4 times 2 is 8. That equals to x, and then you have 63 minus 8. That equals to the top, so which is a 55 divided by 18. That is equals to x, so that is your final answer. All right, so the next and the rest of the problem, we don't have to deal with common denominator anymore. It's a good practice. You are prepared for stats, right? So in statistics, you have to understand fraction, understanding common denominator, how to add and subtract fraction is your responsibility. All right, part E, let's do a E. So part E, you have x divided by 2 equals to negative 11. So what is x divided by 2? X divided by 2 is the same thing as 1 over 2 times x. They are exactly the same. 1 over 2 times x is 1 over 2 times x divided by 1, numerator times numerator, denominator times denominator, then you get your x over 2 back. So in this problem, as long as you multiply both sides by the denominator, again, you multiply both sides by the denominator, which is a 2, right? So you have a x over 2, right? So this 2 is the same thing as 2 over 1. So that is a 2 over 1. And then let's complete the fraction. X divided by 2, and then negative 11. Negative 11 is the same thing as negative 11 over 1. So the 2 and this 2 got cancelled, right? As long as you divide the top and bottom by 2, so we have x equals to negative 22. How do I know this is correct? Plug it in. So you have 22 divide negative 22 divided by 2, then you get your negative 11. So I know my solution is absolutely right. And then F, you have x divided by negative 3 equals to 6. What did I say in the previous problem? You have to multiply both sides by the denominator. So negative 3 times negative 3. So this is a negative 3 over 1 times x over negative 3, right? So they are cancelled. So that is equals to x. Think about this. 2 over 1 times x over 2. That is the same thing as 2 over 1 times 1 over 2 times x over 1, right? So this is gone. 2 divided by 2 is gone. So you have x only. Then back to our equation, you have x equals to negative 18. Check. Negative 18 divided by negative 3 is 6. So my negative 18 is correct. And then G, you have 2 over x divided by 5 equals to 6. This one I will multiply both sides by what? What is 2x divided by 5? 2x divided by 5 is 2 over 5 times x. All right, so we are going to multiply both sides by the reciprocal of the coefficient. Why? Why 5 over 2? Why not 2 over 5? How come not we don't multiply 1000 over 5? Because the 5 over 2, when you multiply that by 2 over 5, how's the magic works out right here? 5 cancels with 5, 2 cancels with 2, right? So you have x, what is that equal to? 6 times that. So you can multiply first and then simplify. Like 6 times 5 equals to 30. 30 divided by 2 is 15. How do I know this is right? So you have 2 times 15 divided by 5 equals to 6. 30 divided by 5 is equals to 6. And then h. Negative 5x divided by 2 equals to 6. And then this one I will just multiply the top and bottom by negative 2 over 5. How come negative? Because there is a negative in there. I have to do negative times negative equals to positive. So there is only 1x on the left hand side. So the top and bottom, the 2, 2 and the 5, 5, they got cancelled, right? They got cancelled means you divide the top and bottom by 2 and then you divide the top and bottom by 5. So the 6, we have to do this as well, negative 2 over 5. So 6 times 2 is 12. So negative 12 divided by 5. I prefer not to simplify the fraction. I mean, not to reduce the fraction. Check. 5, there is a negative, right? Yep. Times negative 12 over 5 divided by 2 equals to 6. The 5 and the 5 got cancelled, right? Negative and negative becomes a positive. 12 divided by 2 is equals to 6. And then we have 4 problems left. The next one is, let's use blue. I, that is negative 4 over 5 times x equals to 7 over 3. So we have a fraction on both sides. In this type of problem, we follow the same strategy. I will multiply the reciprocal of the coefficient. Coefficient is the constant value in front of x. So which is negative 5 over 4. This is a negative 5 over 4. One thing that you have to know, okay, this is not, this should be the prerequisite. 5 over 4 times 4 over 5, a fraction multiplied by its reciprocal is equals to 1. You need to be able to get rid of the 4 and then get rid of the 5. That equals to 1. This came from your prerequisite course. People don't discuss how to multiply fractions in statistics. All right, the left-hand side, what do we have? We have x, and then the right-hand side, we have negative. I don't see anything can be simplified. Okay, then 7 times 5 and 4 times 3. And this is my final answer. Let's take a quick check. Negative 4 over 5 times negative 35 over 12. Is that equals to 7 over 3? Let's find out. First, I would divide the top and bottom by 5. 5 divided by 5 is 1. 35 divided by 5 is 7. 4 divided by 4 is 1. 12 divided by 4 is 3. Negative times negative is positive. So we have this. All right, and that is checked. Let's move on to J. So in part J, we have negative 7 over 5x equals to 21 divided by 25. All right, we will multiply both sides by the reciprocal. So the reciprocal of this coefficient, which is negative 5 over 7. So that this side is also negative 5 over 7. So the fraction is, this side is cancelled immediately. So we have x equals to, all right, this is fun. 7 divided by 7 is 1. 21 divided by 7 is 3. 5 divided by 5 is 1. 25 divided by 5 is 5. So we have negative 3 over 5. 2 more to go. K, negative 1/2 equals to negative 8 over 9 times x. I need to multiply both sides by what? I need to multiply both sides by the coefficient. Where is the coefficient? The coefficient is the number in front of the variable. All right, so be reciprocal, and that will be negative 9 over 8. This is negative 9 over 8. Okay, the 8s and the 9s, they got cancelled. Negative times negative is positive. This is equals to x. And then negative times negative is positive. Then we have 9 over 16. And this is my answer. And then the last one, L. Who's green? So L, we have negative 5 over 7 equals to 3x. So 3 is my coefficient. Then I will multiply both sides by 1/3 because 3 times 1/3 is equals to 1. Back to green. So that is equals to x. That is negative 5 over 21. Okay, that is my final answer. So that will be all in this part. In the next video, I will show you how to solve linear equations involving decimal. All right, I see you there.